It's Friday, the 5th of February 2016. Property chat from James Alexander with Ken Hume and Kit Myrie. Kit, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you. And if we could just get straight into it. The first thing that we've got kind of on our list of news is generation rent, as termed by Savills. It's a new report that's come out suggesting that the generation rent, aka generation at the moment, will swell to 1 million over the next 5 years, meaning the demand for rental properties will be higher than ever before.
Yeah, that's interesting. And when you put that on top of the fact that landlords have been hit with higher taxes than ever before, we're expecting rents over the next couple of years. If you look at the Irish example, where taxes were put up to a similar punitive amount, rents rose by 50%. And sadly, because of the government's initiatives to gain more tax from landlords, we expect rents to fly within the next couple of years, which is quite frustrating, but that's the result of the tax. And on that subject, Cherie Blair has launched a legal battle against the government's policy to increase these taxes on buy-to-let. We knew this was coming, but they've now written to HMRC detailing the grounds on which they wish to block the proposed tax. The firm says the policy is in breach of Article 1 of the European Convention on Human Rights, as it discriminates against individual buy-to-let investors by preventing them from enjoying the same rights as other businesses, including corporate landlords, which is quite interesting.
Yeah, that is very interesting. And on a lighter note, using data from Zoopla, a report has been compiled to show kind of different house prices over London in the shape of the tube map. Now, the most interesting is the journey from Finchley Road to Wembley Park, which is an 8-minute journey, and sees a million fall in house prices. So that's 1.4 million down to the average price of 400,000.
That's incredible, isn't it? But that's London for you.
Exactly.
Lots of regional variation, and it's all about the postcode, as we know.
Yes, definitely.
The other thing I wanted to talk about was landlord licensing. Lots of people are still asking landlord licensing, what's happening? Well, landlord licensing is here in Croydon. It's been here since October. So if you don't have a licence, you may have a problem if you require your property back from your tenants for any reason. I was actually in court yesterday, and the judge asked straight away, does your landlord have a licence? So bear in mind, judges are asking these questions, and it's important that you do get one. If you don't know how to, you don't know what it's about, then if you are renting private property and you have tenants, then you need a licence, and you have to pay for it. You have to register via Croydon Council. We can help you with that. Give us a call and we can talk you through it.
Yeah, and lastly, we wanted to touch on leases briefly. We had an example of a property, a bargain in Belgravia in central London. It's a 6-bedroom apartment which is going to auction for just £900,000, which is obviously a bargain in regards to the area, and it has been given an estimate in the region of 10 million. There is a catch, however. The lease only has 3.5 years remaining, so you would need to extend that at the cost of 4.4 million, and that's for a max of 20 years extension.
Yeah, makes the deal not quite as good as it looked.
Yeah.
Now, the thing about lease extensions, we're often asked about these. There is a body called the Leasehold Valuation Tribunal if you feel that your landlord's treating you unfairly in the way that they're trying to agree a lease extension with you. But the formula is quite an unusual one. There are 2 questions involved. The first question is, what is your flat worth with your short lease at the moment? So if you've got a 50-year lease, then it might only be saleable to cash buyers. Let's say it's worth 200 with a short lease, and with a long lease it might be worth 300,000. Then the difference between those two is 100,000, and the marriage value is half of that, i.e. 50,000, and that would be the value of the extension. Now, of course, it's in the freeholder's interest to suggest that there's a larger gap between those two numbers, so that they can negotiate a much bigger fee for the lease extension, and vice versa. So it is something that you may need to take professional advice on. Again, it's something we dealt with in the past many times, and we can talk to you about. So, feel free to call us anytime on that, on 0208 679 8601.
Yes, definitely. And lastly, we had an example of a recent valuation you went, I believe, on, Ken. Would you care to explain?
Yeah, this was quite an interesting one. I went on a valuation today, and the other agents that had gone round had valued the property at between 50 and 150,000 more than we valued it at. And I said to the client, on what basis have these valuations been given? And he said, well, I don't really know. They've given me these bits of paper with some numbers on. We looked at the bits of paper, and the columns where the prices were filled in it was apparent to me that they were actually filled in by the agent. And I just said to the client, look, I tell you what, the best thing to do is go on a website. The website address is nethouseprices.com. and you can look on there and you can put your postcode in and you can see for yourself what the last house in your road sold for, because it seems to me that there's a huge disparity between what some agents are saying and the reality. Well, the client did that, and I'm pleased to say he was back on the phone just now saying, oh dear, what a bunch of liars. So be very careful that they're saying the truth to you when you look at valuations. You know, do make sure that you do your own research as well as taking advice from agents.
Yeah, definitely, and obviously also give us a call at the same time.
Of course, yeah, don't forget to get us round, of course. Thanks for listening and watching this week to Property Chat with me, Ken Hume, and Kit Myrie. The website's www.jamesalexander.com. Any inquiries, do email us at inquiries@jamesalexander.com.
Thank you very much.